but it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Hassan is clearly reaching for a button of some kind.
Why are people mad about you, Kaya, / what were you doing? People speculated that I was actually shocking her. The clip looks fucking horrible. And they're like, oh, he was like hitting a button on his desk. I do not have a shock collar for Kaya, as I said yesterday, but it doesn't matter. People don't give a shit. All of the other clips that people have been showing are either the AirTag or the vibration collar that she has. Can you just show the collar? Shut everyone up. XU said he would donate 50K to a shelter if he did. This is one of Kaya's many collars. This is the one that people are talking about. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. There's the AirTag. There's the fucking vibrator. I understand why people are concerned about it. It's okay. It makes sense why people will be like, oh my God, this person is being abusive if they only saw that clip. What were you reaching for in the clip? What do you think? That's where all my fucking Zintins are. From the cot to the PC, Kaya will be free. Yes, I will be addressing that as well. Don't worry. Why are people mad about you, Kaya, / what were you doing? There's a clip out there that in the aftermath of me getting my internet getting pooped, I come back live and I'm very frustrated. And while I'm fucking tweaking around, I give Kaya the place command as I usually do. And there's literally a fucking emote for it in the chat for place, which is one of the things that she knows is she's like professionally trained. And I think while she was like getting up and down from the bed, I don't know exactly what happened, but I suspect that she tweaked her dew nail, like the upper nail that's like her dew claw on the side of the bed. People speculated that I was actually shocking her. It is basically a perfect shitstorm because obviously I have a lot of haters. Obviously, a lot of people love dogs, myself included. The clip looks fucking horrible. And people were like speculating because I was like moving around and they're like, oh, he was like hitting a button on his desk. The most insane part about it is that a lot of people were just like automatically under the assumption that I've been like abusing my dog that I love more than most human beings. Dogs hurt themselves sometimes. It literally looks like she got caught and it hurt. You literally gave her belly rubs right after. I know. It did get heavily blasted in the orbit and a lot of people are like losing their minds over it. It's okay. It is what it is. Maya did not corroborate yet, so that must be true that you're the worst. I know. As an animal conservationist, she's been secretly actually participating in the abuse of, once again, one of the most beloved dogs on the planet. Here's March in the chat. Funny part is Kaya legit lives a better life than most people I know. Lamau, I know. It is pretty fucking nutty that is like an angle of attack here. I saw it all over my ex. For every 15 posts I saw saying you shocked her, there wasn't even one in your defense, and those horrific posts had millions of views. It's okay. It is what it is. I have people who have made it their full-time jobs to like professionally hate on everything that I do. This is an inevitable byproduct of this. In any case, I do think that there are people out there who saw the clip and were like, this looks so bad. And they got completely fucking duped by the framing of it. And it's all right. I understand. For those of you who are confused by it, I do not have a shock collar for Kaya, as I said yesterday, but it doesn't matter. People don't give a shit. All of the other clips that people have been showing are either the AirTag or the vibration collar that she has, which I use when she is free roaming. You didn't refute the claims until now? No, I have. I did immediately. And the vibration collar for off-leash training doesn't work in the way that you guys think it does. Her hair is far too thick, as this chatter also correctly pointed out, for there to be any sort of collar that actually works in that way. This is one of the most insane sagas that I have participated in so far. It is laughable because, once again, I have been around so many other content creators, people that do like literally animal welfare advocacy and things of that nature. This dog is a famous dog, and she is one of the best taken care of dogs of all time. Like straight up. Lives a better existence than I do. lives a better existence than many of you do. Definitely lives a better life than my haters do. That's for sure. As someone who almost always agrees with you on stuff, the clip where you mentioned buying a shock collar before and the other clip where you talk about Frenchies and your response to the collar being too tight were all disappointing. But yeah, I'm sorry. Everyone is just accusing you of something so awful. Yeah, the clips that they're using are from like 10 years ago when I was talking about not using a shock collar. That's what I mean. That's what's so crazy about it, because like in the clip that they're using from like literally 10 years ago when I had a different dog, my former dog that passed away, I'm straight up in the OG clip being like, someone suggested I get a bark collar because Fish actually barks quite a bit. Fish is my previous dog. Here, this is what
wanted to use.
There's a bunch of clips that are going around right now. People are trying to build this narrative. Here's the 19-second clip. I'm going to show you what they're using currently.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for Fish and his dogs. I have it still. I bought it.
That's weird. What is that flash cut in between?
Dogs. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
Here is the original clip.
They wanted to use a shock collar for Fish and his dogs. For Fish and his dogs barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
That's literally from like 2018 or some shit.
But I couldn't do it.
Damn, why'd they cut it like that? Why don't you let her roam around the house? I'm not a hate watcher, just curious. Okay, so let me address a couple things really quickly. First and foremost, I have done this. I have addressed this a million times over. I've also shown in videos like Kaya's day-to-day experiences and stuff like that. Obviously, she gets out. She has an incredibly active morning. And not only that, but she also has an incredibly active afternoon. She gets 2 hours of playtime every morning at either the gym or at the park that I go to. And then as a big dog, as big dogs oftentimes do, she passes the fuck out for extended periods of time throughout the day. On top of that, at night, in the afternoon, she gets another hour-long walk. The reason why she gets another hour-long walk is because sometimes she gets bored, and that's understandable. Other times she runs up to the door when my mom comes in. As far as not letting her roam in the room itself, there's a very specific purpose for that. That is because, and this is something that I've described over and over again, the reason why she's not allowed to roam inside of this room, with the exception of like stretching or getting up, getting down, drinking water, things like that, is because she likes to lay on the ground. When she lays on the ground, that's terrible for her fucking joints. Every single thing that I do with this dog is either with a professional dog trainer or with a vet. Professional dog trainer or a vet. A lot of people don't understand how serious this is to take care of your dog, how important it is to make sure that you have like proper activity, proper socializing, and to make sure that your dog gets out, make sure that your dog is actually active, and more importantly, make sure that your dog has a regimented and very structured life, especially when you have a very large dog. I have a very large dog. Large dogs have a tendency to get hip dysplasia later on in their lives, and they have joint issues. She is 120 pounds. The other reason why it's important that a large dog is very properly trained is because a large dog can accidentally hurt someone. If she accidentally played with someone and nipped at someone, that would be a massive issue. It's a little different than like a Chihuahua. They can also hurt themselves as well. That is part of the reason why I take this very, very seriously and have taken this very, very seriously from the start. There was a lot of like weird fucking comments there. Like I'll bracket off the criticisms into 3 different categories. Okay. The number one is the broadest majority of people who saw that clip and were like, oh my God, this looks terrible. Like this guy is fucking abusive or whatever. Right. Which is hilarious to say about someone like myself, especially considering that I am very, very careful and very good with Kaya. I spend every waking moment with her. She is the love of my life. She's the most important thing in my life. Okay. I love her more than I love most human beings. The notion that I would be abusive to her is obviously ridiculous, but it is what it is. Virtually every single person that has been around us would attest to that, for the record. That's number one. So looking at like a 20-second clip over an 8-hour time frame that is negatively framed in a way to make it seem as though like I'm abusive or anything like that, it can reach a much larger audience. And if people are oblivious to it, they will get duped by it. And it is what it is. Number two, the second type of people that took advantage of this was the regular guys, like the pedo underscroll trolls of the world. From what I understand, Ethan himself was in some hot water for using a prong collar, which, by the way, ironically enough, I had used the prong collar in the past for Fish, my previous dog. So I think he was like using that as well to be like, oh, look, see, Hassan used a prong collar. And it's like, yeah, I don't anymore. And also, it's just, I don't know how that has anything to do with me. Like your audience is yelling at you over that sort of thing. On top of that, there was like the third category of people who are totally in the periphery. You only go one VOD bag and Kaya roams the entire VOD amount. I know, but it doesn't matter, right? Because if you are in here for an extended period of time, you already know this. You already know that Kaya gets to run the show, do whatever the fuck she wants. But the problem here is that the narrative is not being guided by people who are interested in having a reasonable opinion on this. Crazy to me that you have to give attention to this matter. All your viewers should know better. No, it's okay. It's understandable, especially because this is like a big deal. The clips don't show her trying to lay on the hardwood floor. She just stepped off her pad. Please explain. No, that's what I'm saying. She steps off the pad to go lay on the hardwood floor. That's why I give her the place command. The place command is done for multiple different reasons, but for the most part, the reason why, if you've ever trained a dog professionally or anything like that, you know that the place command is given. Oftentimes, if your dog is like getting excited or barking or things of that nature, it's supposed to like ground them and calm them down because you're giving them a command. Dogs respond to order and a rigid, structured regimen. In any case, I don't know the exact reason as to why she yelped. She has done so in the past as well. I suspected it was because she like either tripped or she got her dew claw, like the higher thumb looking claw, clipped on the side. There's a lot of people that immediately were like, "Oh, this is what's going on. I see exactly what happened. He fucking is like secretly fucking like pressing a button that he has on his desk or something like that." I have multiple collars. I'm going to address the collar thing in a second as well. I have multiple collars for Kaya, and I put an air tag on them. I put an air tag on all of her collars to make sure that I know where she's at. And one of the collars that people are pointing to from previous days or from like months ago is the collar that is a vibration collar, a collar that I use specifically to communicate with Kaya when she's free roaming at the park or when she is, off leash running around. When you leave your dog to free roam, to go out on the trail or whatever, there are going to be instances where you can yell for her to come back to do recall, but because she's so far away that she can't hear you. That's where the vibration collar comes in. It vibrates. It doesn't actually have any sort of like shocking component. And there are multiple different versions of this. There are the no bark collars that I believe both vibrate and also emit like a large sound. There are shock collars as well. They all look very similar to one another. But the vibration collar is what they were pointing to be like, oh my God, he has a collar that he's using to abuse her and shocking her. This is by far your stupidest controversy yet. I know, but it's a lot of people understandably love dogs. I do think it's kind of crazy that one of the 1,000 times you yelled place on stream, the yelping only happened once. I know. It's such a common thing that I do that there's an emote for it. Dude, none of these guys crying about it train their dogs. They know nothing. Yeah. Shock collars are not bad for dogs if used correctly. Any dog trainer will have you put the shock collar on your arm and feel it. Yes, I have. I have done that. If you've ever used a Thames machine, it feels like ants. That's what the sensation feels like. But it doesn't even matter because I don't have that anyway. I think you should wear the collar and bark for chat would make everybody happy. I think the worst aspect of it was that I was frustrated because the internet had cut out and I didn't immediately rush to her. I went to her afterwards to see if she was all right. But she was, of course. And that's it. And I do take accountability for that. I should have immediately went over when I saw her yelping. And that's it. But the idea that I'm like a abusive dog parent is completely fucking ridiculous. Is this what you have to deal with on a regular? Dumb controversies and desperate attempts to discredit you? Yes.
Is that her just no leash walking?
Look at this.
Oh my God. How is this possible?
Bro, when you have discipline in your life, when you have a rigid structure in your life, when you work hard, you can achieve anything. Okay.
What the fuck? Buddy would never do that.
Yeah,
If
because
Kevin was here, he would have ran right in front of that van and got hit and died.
Buddy would have at a certain point loved to do that. You just didn't teach Buddy that.
We tried.
Kaya, let's walk.
Oh my God, this is insane.
Good girl.
You know what?
Can you just show the collar, shut everyone up? XU said he would donate 50K to a shelter if he did. Yeah, man, you explain things well and shit, but show the collar though, dude. Okay. Sure. Kaya, okay. Come here. This is one of Kaya's many collars. Come here. Sit. This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one. This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? That's it. There's the air tag. There's the fucking vibrator. It also has a flashlight component to it at nighttime. And it also has a tracker on it when she gets lost. If she were to actually get fucking lost, it emits a sound. Kaya! Come here, baby. Place. There are days where Kaya doesn't wear a collar. There are days where she wears a different collar. This, in and of itself, doesn't actually work in the way that you think it does. Here, this is the flashlight, and this is when it vibrates. Kaya, come here. Place. I understand. I understand why people are. I understand why people are concerned about it. It's okay. It makes sense why people will be like, "Oh my God, this person is being abusive." If they only saw that clip, it doesn't matter, and this will not go away. For the record, I'm sure that the people that are saying that this is not like the real deal will continuously and expertly scrutinize every minutia to say, "Oh no, you don't understand. This is a situation where he's trying to get out of it," or anything like that. Will all those that slandered you apologize now? No, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't. No, because they've been targeting you before this and they will continue to do so in the future. Exactly. And they will continue saying like, I don't believe it. I don't, it's this or that. The greatest counter to this would be the 7 million hours of me hanging out with Kaya. Like she's been on stream for 10,000 fucking hours at this point. She's grown up on this stream. She's been outside on stream. Why can't you just grab the collar and show us? I just did. Genuine ask, aren't Tibetan Mastiffs advised to give large open space to roam around? And though, apart from everything else, you ever sitting for hours on end in one spot, is that okay for her? Yes. Everything that I do with Kaya is from professional trainers and from vets. Okay. I'm very on it in terms of like reinforcing the training. Because if you actually train your dog or you take your dog to a trainer and then refuse to reinforce that behavior, you ultimately allow your dog to slowly but surely expand the permission structure, and dogs need good guidance at every given moment. A lot of people who are like talking shit right now are completely oblivious to that reality. They've either never taken care of a pet, they've never actually taken care of another living, breathing, organic thing, whether it be a fucking hamster or a dog or anything else. And for that reason, they just don't understand it. Overprotective? Maybe. Abusive? Laughable? Yes. I am very overprotective. I am perhaps a little bit too type A of a dog parent. If anything, I'm a little too hyper critical. But the reason why I do that is because I don't want to fuck up. Large dog, what were you reaching for in the clip? What do you think? That's where all my fucking Zintins are.